what's going on? My name is Dennis from the Long Island Gaming League, and I'm your instructor for this video. And we're going to be going over esports logos and branding. So, of course, this video is going to have a bunch of information. So make sure you just get your pen, your paper, or whatever you're going to use to take your notes, because it's going to be very important that you really understand the power of a logo. I also have some videos that I'm going to utilize in this particular video to help further explain the psychology behind logos and how you can create an iconic logo. So without further ado, let's get into this first video where we're going to go over marketing color psychology, and I'm going to be chiming in and out to give my 2 cents when it comes to esports logos specifically. Let's go.
Today we're talking about marketing color psychology. I want to put all our viewers in a position to where they can leverage colors to help them make a stronger emotional connection. Because this is often overlooked, right? I mean, because we all have our own personal preferences. We have that one favorite color that we just have to use. So oftentimes we end up picking colors that we like and we assume that everyone else will like it as well. But there are certain colors that align better with the message that you want to portray or your particular audience. So it's my mission in this video to help some people get over the hump, to put aside their personal preferences and look at marketing color psychology.
So a caveat to that is a lot of us happen to really make that mistake, myself included, and you don't want to make that mistake. So what you want to do before you go deeper into this video is let's avoid the first mistake that so many people make. Ask questions. Ask people what colors they may like. What do they think? It'll also help to alleviate some of that bias that we always have when we're choosing colors for our esports logos, or should I say, when you're choosing colors for your esports logo. Also in this video, you're going to figure out and learn a little bit more about why we chose the colors we did for our logos. All right, let's continue with this video.
Color psychology is an area of research that looks at how colors influence our behavior. And when we use it in marketing, for example, different colors can impact our audience perception of a brand that aren't always apparent. So just because something is your favorite color doesn't mean that it always fits your brand or your message. Because with every color, there's gonna be some positives and some negatives, and you need to be aware of both of them. And you should also know that colors are just a portion of your brand's experience. There's a lot of other factors that come into play, like your fonts, your design styles, your themes, your products, and even your people. Now it'll take me hours to explain everything. So in this video, we're just gonna go over marketing color psychology.
All right, so now we're gonna get into some things that you really need to know. Clearly your font and your style design all matter, and you're going to do some research and look up other esports brand design logos so you can get a feel for the type of logo style that you want to do. But we keep talking about color psychologies. Well, how many colors are there? What are these colors? So we're going to jump into what the colors are, and don't worry, we're not going to go through all of them because this is a short video to give you insight on some of the more popular colors that are used in business. All right, as we continue.
Blue. Now I love this color because the color blue has some really strong effects on your mind. And some of the positive associations with the color blue is that it can have a very calming effect. Just think about staring out at a nice blue ocean, seeing the calming waves, and enjoying the peace of everything. Hey Sean, wake up. Okay, now blue is also associated with wisdom, strength, and trust. However, there are some negative associations with blue, especially when you use the color dark blue, which can be associated with coldness and a lack of emotion. So brands who want to win you over with trust often use blue. Of course, a lot of the credit card companies like American Express, Visa, and even PayPal. You'll also see some social media brands using the color blue like Twitter, Facebook, and if you're old like me, MySpace to convey that their platforms are a trustworthy place where you can engage with your friends. Okay, let's move on to one of my personal favorite colors. Number 2 on my list, color red. Now red is a powerful color that has some great positive effects. For one, it can spark strong emotions, both negative and positive. And for 2, red is associated with power and passion, which can increase levels of urgency and excitement, which is why you'll often see red associated with fast cars and lingerie. No need to fear, Super Sean is here. On the other hand, very dark tones of red can give off negative levels of energy like anger or danger. Netflix is a company that uses the color red to display a level of excitement and passion that you may experience while using their app. All right, let's move on to color 3 on my list, the color yellow. Now, obviously yellow is a very strong and bright color, but when used appropriately can have a profound effect. So the positives of yellow is that it's associated with sunshine, happiness, and fun. So if your brand experience incorporates some of that, then using a splash of yellow can definitely help. On the other hand, there are some negative associations with the color yellow, which the number 1 being cheapness. So when people see the color yellow, they normally expect to see some good deals. Think about when you're out shopping and you see a for sale sign. You normally see the color yellow associated with it. Also, dark tones of yellows can often portray emotions of fear and anxiety. One of the most notable brands that uses the color yellow is McDonald's, and of course their brand is associated with cheapness, happiness, and fun. So they're doing a really great job of harnessing the power of the color yellow. All right, let's move on to color number 4 on my list, and that is the color orange. One of the biggest positive effects of the color orange is that it's often associated with the sun in the fall, which gives off a feeling of warmth. And it's the color that people most consider to be cheap. So when you think about really high-end, expensive items, you normally don't think about the color orange. On the flip side, a really dark tone of orange can be associated with frustration and immaturity. Now, can you think of one of the biggest companies in the world that uses the positive effects of orange?
See, we're going through a few colors right now, and you're kind of getting a feel. Hopefully, some of this is starting to resonate with you as you're trying to decide what color logo you want to have. Now, you can combine some of the colors. You can choose one color or primary color. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. And with that, it's going to help you to develop. Now, I know we're just about to figure out what is this magical brand. And if you're thinking about it, as we all might be, feel free to write it down, put it into an email, just for yourself. We're going to play a little game to see if you are going to be correct with guessing what that color is.
If you said Amazon, then you're right. Think about it. Amazon is associated with really good customer service, which is the warmth and the friendliness positives of the color orange. And they're also known for having some really good deals, which they're taking advantage of, the color orange being cheap. Moving on to color number 5 on my list, the color green.
Green. Now, we all like that green, baby. So, yeah, green is a really powerful color, but I just want to chime in and say, I like green. All right, let's go. Let's go get back into these videos. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this as much as we're enjoying making them for you.
Relaxing color that's easy on the eyes, and some of the positive associations with green is that they're synonymous with health, freshness, nature, and growth. So if you're in the business of helping people grow their money like finance, accounting, or banking, then green may be a good choice for you. Now, there's not a lot of negative connotations associated with the color green, except for the fact that it can be a boring color. All right, it's not very fun or exciting, especially if you're using a dark tone of green.
Hey Sean, don't forget to eat all your vegetables.
Now, one of my personal favorite brands that leverages the power and the positives of the color green is Whole Foods. They focus on really healthy, natural foods, which correlates really well with the color green. All right, let's move on to color number 6 on my list, which is, ooh, this is a good one. The color black. Now, black is a very powerful color. It's often associated with luxury, sophistication, and substance. You know, you think of like a black tie event or like a premium ride on Uber. Black has a very exclusive feeling associated with it. However, it's one of the hardest colors to execute properly because you normally need other psychological influences as well. And when you fail at using it properly, then the negatives can be really bad. It can be associated with coldness, evil, oppression, or even death. All right, now the last color on my list is the color white. Now, just like black, white can be an extremely powerful color, but it's also difficult to execute. Now, some of the positive associations with white is that it's often referred to being modern, sleek, and squeaky clean. So brands like Apple and Tesla take advantage of white because of their ability to demonstrate these things with their entire brand experience. However, if white is executed poorly, then white can look very lazy, plain, and lack personality.
All right, everybody. So you just finished watching the psychology of marketing. So hopefully some of that information that you had really set in as you decide to figure out what you want to do when it comes to your esports logo. As you can see, the Long Island Gaming League logo, we have blue, we have black, and we have white. So those are just some of the colors that were mentioned in this video in regards to colors that we utilize in our brand. So thank you so much for watching this part of branding and logo design. The next video we're going to get into is going to talk about designing your logo and what some of those designs mean. First, we wanted to do something where you have an understanding of the psychology. Now you're going to get into the design. Let's get right into it.
What if I were to tell you today in this episode, I'm going to teach you how to design a logo for your company that'll be the next billion-dollar company that you own? How exciting is that, right? Okay, before I get into the episode, let me manage your expectation to know that no matter how amazing of a logo you design, it has very little to do on being a billion-dollar company. But still, there is a science to designing a logo. I'm going to talk to you about that today. So before I get into the episode, title is going to be How to Build the Next Iconic Brand or Iconic Logo. If you get right into it, number one, first thing you got to know is there's 5 different types of logos. It's very simple, 5. First one is a word mark. Word mark means where the name of the company is the actual logo, like Coca-Cola, Google, Yahoo. The actual name becomes the logo, Visa. So you see these names out there. The reason why you may want to consider a word mark logo is because maybe you're newer, so you want everybody that does business with you to constantly read the name of your company until you're established. Then possibly you can drop the name if you wanted to. So that goes to the second one, which is pictorial. Kind of like the Twitter, you see the bird, or HP, or Apple, the actual Apple, or the Target, you see the Target on there. You have to be a little bit more established so people know who you are for you to be able to do this. But still, this works as you're going through it for a pictorial logo. The third type is abstract. Abstract is Sprint, Playboy, Pepsi, Nike. It's very different. It's very unique.
Team LI, which is the T, the L, and the I that is inside of our logo. So we chose to use a image to represent our brand. I just want to kind of chime in to give you reference of how we're utilizing that type of logo design with our esports organization. And you may see that a lot of your familiar esports organizations tend to use that type of logo design style. I'm going to get back into the video and enjoy.
So if you're going to go and design an abstract logo, I highly recommend you use a pro to help you do it. Number 4, mascot. Mascot is like KFC, Kool-Aid, Planters Peanut. A mascot works if your audience is younger, if it's younger kids or if it's a younger audience. Mascots attractive with that. One of the good things about mascots, everybody likes taking selfies with mascots. So nowadays, a mascot could be all over Instagram, all over social media, and you can have a name for the mascot and people see the mascot and there's a hashtag for the mascot, so there's a community. It works, but you got to make sure it matches the audience that you want. And last but not least,
All right, so now we've just talked about mascots and seeing how we are talking about esports. In sports, mascots are used all the time. So this might be something that you may want to consider as you're continuing to develop your esports logo, that you might want to go the mascot route, because then you can always have that person that people could relate to and they can build a community around your esports organization or your esports team. So I definitely like the mascot idea, and I think it's something to really consider. And you can look up mascot logos after watching this video. But I want to chime in and tell you that mascot is a very popular logo that is used in sports. And this is a esports, how to design your logo and market it with branding. So thought I'd chime in. Let's get back to Valuetainment.
Is an emblem logo. We're talking Harvard, university. We're talking Harley Davidson. We may be talking Starbucks. This is emblem. Emblem type of logos works when it's public universities or food, drinks like Budweiser. Emblems work when you're talking about those kinds of industry, but it may not work for everything. So you got to ask yourself, whichever industry you're part of, which logo style would work for what you're trying to design.
I love what they do on Valuetainment, and I thought the way he articulates logos would be amazing for you to hear as you're continuing your thought process of designing your esports logo. Now, he talked about a particular logo, and that logo he mentioned is the same type of logo we use, which is the shield. As you can see, it's not a font, even though there's a font there. It's basically a shield with the island.
Number 2, avoid trendy looks. Let me tell you what I mean by avoid trendy looks. Right now, every time I go to an exotic car and I'm thinking about buying another Lambo or Ferrari or whatever car it is, I see matte black everywhere, okay? You go to nice parties, you see matte black Audi, matte black Ferrari, matte black Lambo, matte black Rolls. And today, man, matte black is so sick. I want to do everything in my car matte black. Do you really think matte black's going to be hot 20 years from now? I don't know. I can't tell you matte black's going to be hot 20 years from now. So don't try to build a logo that's specifically trendy, because an investor is going to want to buy a company. They want to see this is something that's going to last a long time. So don't get too creative with the logo, because if you get too creative, you may fall out of any one of these, and that may also not work for you. And this is one of the reasons why I like you getting multiple options. Get multiple people designing a logo for you and kind of see where you like it and choose that designer and work with that person. Number 3, choose colors wisely. Colors have a lot of things. They say a lot. You and I don't know, but they say a lot to the person that's looking at the brand. Red means fire and emotion. Like when you see a red logo, it brings something out of you, right? Blue is stability, confidence. Think about some of the companies that are blue. Stability, confidence. Yellow is energetic, it's fresh. Green represents trust, calm. Starbucks green, right? It's calm, it's relaxing. Purple, royalty, power. Orange could be happiness, credibility, creativeness. Black is bold and serious. Think about Tiger Woods logo, black, bold, I'm serious, I'm bold. I mean business. Pink is warmth, love. Brown is nature, reliable, strong, right? So you got to pick and choose a color that matches whatever sign you're going to go here, that represents the energy or the feeling you want to give me as somebody that wants to decide to do business with you and your company. Number 4, time. Here's the thing you got to realize. Remember how I said, imagine if I told you design a perfect logo that'll be the next billion-dollar company. I said, before we manage your expectation to this grand expectation of, oh my gosh, this logo is going to make my company. Let's ask the most important question. It's a very basic question, okay? Because the debate is, it's very important you design a great logo. And no, it's not. It has nothing to do with the best logo you design. So who is right, right? This is another debate. Here's a question to be asking. Perfect logo, average marketing versus horrible logo or average logo, but innovative marketing. Who do you think wins?
Another reason why this video is really impactful for you to be watching as you're developing your esports logo and branding, the question he just proposed is one that many of us do not know the answer to or even think about. So I like that he positions that question to you. And I want you, again, to take a pen, or if you're doing this, watching this via email, to email us, send it over to us, write it down, hand it into your instructor with your answer in regards to what you think it is. Again, I just wanted to just chime in. Hope you're enjoying the video. Hope you're learning a lot. and we appreciate you. So I'm going to get right back into his video.
So you got somebody that understands marketing very, very well, but they got a decent logo, versus somebody that's got a ridiculous logo, but it's got no clue with marketing. Honestly, who do you think is going to win? You got to realize marketing is very critical, but then here becomes a question. What if you can do both? What if you hire a pro that designs a real cool logo for you, and at the same time you have innovative marketing? Then what do you have? Now you have something working for you. Now I got to keep this in mind about logos, okay? The one thing about logo is not like, you know, I'm going to go land Kobe Bryant with the Lakers that's going to be with me for 20 years and we're going to win 5 championships, guarantee, or I'm going to go land a Babe Ruth or Tom Brady that's going to bring me 5 Super Bowls. When it comes to logos, they're not home runs, they're base hits. Logos are all about base hits. All about base hits, all about constantly seeing it over and over and over and over and over and over again. Eventually it stays here. They say the average kid, right now, the average kid, 40% of 2 to 3-year-olds can recognize logos and match it with a company. But 100% of 11-year-old kids can look at a logo and match it to a company and say, oh, that's this company. They do it with cars. You have kids. You can see this is this, that's this. People know logos and they match it with a company, but you got to be patient. Time is your enemy and time is your friend. The more places, everywhere you put them, they see it. Some are direct marketing, some are indirect marketing. Some you're expecting me to see it. Some is on the background, I'm seeing it, but I'm not really seeing it, but I'm really seeing it, right? You understand what I'm saying? So I thought I saw that logo over there. You're supposed to see the logo here. You weren't expecting to see the logo here, both of them. So this is not a marketing video, this is more a logo video, but it's something for you to be thinking about. Number 5, what do you think about when you think about these companies? Remember, how you design your logo, your audience is going to have a feeling when they think about these companies. So I'm going to put up a picture, a logo of any one of these companies. I want you to write down on the bottom exactly what you felt when you saw this logo of this company. Ready? Let's go with the first one. Here it is.
All right. So before he goes into showing you the logos and what you feel from those logos, I want you to think about your esports team. So let's say your team is first-person shooter. Let's say it's Fortnite, right? Or maybe it's Rocket League, or it's other type of game. You want your team or your audience or the people who are going to watch you play to feel something when they see your logo. So just really let that sink in as you're designing your logo. You want to make sure when people see your logo, they're feeling something. It brings in your audience to your esports team. All right, I just wanted to chime in again. I told you I was going to be popping in and out. Let's get into seeing the logos he's about to show you. And don't forget to make sure to write them down and either submit them to your instructor or send them via email. Love to see how you felt when you see these logos.
McDonald's. What do you think about when you think about McDonald's? Here's the next one. Apple. What do you think about when you think about Apple? Here's another one for you. What do you think about when you see Playboy, the logo? What comes to your mind? What do you think about when you see Patriots, New England Patriots? How about the Raiders? When you think about Oakland Raiders, these are all brands. How about the Red Sox? You ready for this last one here? How about Spirit Airlines? What do you think about when you think about Spirit Airlines? I am so curious what you're going to say. What you said is what others will say about your logo. So you got to know that you need to know exactly what feeling. So if I said McDonald's and you said happy, you know, or you said fat, you know, because the food isn't good, that's what you're thinking is because somebody's done that marketing. Coca-Cola, I'm happy. You know, Apple, slick, or you may say expensive, overpriced, but whatever came to your mind. Spirit Airlines, worst airline in the world, hypothetically. Uncomfortable, an airline where you send your in-laws on, right? An airline that you get your enemies, right? But whatever it is, you thought about something. Now, you need to think about what you want me to feel when I think about your logo. And last but not least, before I give you some cool did you knows, here's this. It's never too late to evolve and make your logo better. Okay, you may have a logo that says, I really can't stand my logo, but I've had it for 20 years. What do I do about this? It's never too late. Let me give you some companies that evolve.
I bet you didn't know I was going to be back so soon. Yes, I just wanted to pop back in. You know, I love watching it. I get excited for this stuff. So what he's about to go over next is something really, really cool. because everything evolves. We evolve, you're going to evolve, you're going to evolve as a gamer, your esports career is going to evolve, so why wouldn't your logo evolve? Now let's look at some of these cool logos that have evolved from what they were to what they are.
Here's what Pepsi used to look like, and here's what Pepsi looks like today, okay? Here's what Pepsi looks like today. Here's what Apple used to be. This is what Apple is today, before and after. This company here that you see is IBM. Now this is what IBM looks like today. This other company you look at here is Nokia. Here's what Nokia looks like today. And this is Canon. Remember Canon? This is Canon logo. And this is what Canon logo looks like today. At some point, these companies made a decision to evolve and change their logos and make it look better. A lot of companies do it. Don't feel bad when you decide to adjust. If everything I covered with you felt good about the brand that you have in place, keep going. If you didn't, you can always adjust and tie a story to it. But this time, make sure you hire pros to do that for you instead of just going out there and winging it. I understand when we wing it, new company, new brand, you just kind of want to put a logo out there. You don't know a lot about it and just kind of are excited about something that made sense. As you mature as a business owner, you have a time to take a time out and figure out how you can do it better. Now, let me give you some fun did you knows, and we'll go from there. So number one, Twitter. What do you think Twitter paid for their logo? Twitter, big brand, well known, top 5 websites in the world. Twitter paid 15 bucks for their logo. Nike, the lady that designed Nike's logo was paid $35. The Nike owners initially couldn't stand the logo when it came out. Now Nike's all over the place simply because Nike started putting it on the shoes. Next thing you know, it became big. Number 3, Obama's 2008 campaign. 2008 campaign. They paid $1 million for that logo.
$1 million? Man, that's all I gotta say. That's it. All right, back to the video.
It was so close to Pepsi that Pepsi went and said, listen, we wonder why'd you take our logo? This is our logo. And they wrote a 27-page explanation why this is a different logo having to do with Da Vinci and all these other things that they talked about, which is a pretty interesting, fun story to read about if that interests you. And BBC. BBC company, you know, British Broadcasting, it's a big company. Everyone knows BBC around the world. They paid $1.8 million for their logo. Listen, logos matter, and if I had to do it all over again, I'm telling you, if you had to do it all over again, go get a pro to help you put a logo together.
All right. Now, we thought $1 million was big, but for 3 letters, $1.8 million, it's insane. But at least you got to see a wide range of logos and how they looked and how they evolved, what type of styles they have. We went over marketing color psychology. So we went over a lot, and I really hope that you have enjoyed this video thoroughly. If you have any questions, please write them down. And again, submit them to your instructor or send them to us via email, and we'll love to be able to help you or guide you on your way in your esports journey to creating the perfect esports logo for your organization. Again, my name is Dennis. I hope you enjoyed this video about logos and esports and branding. The industry is only going to get bigger, and we are fortunate enough to be a part of it. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me at theligamingleague.com.